Hey, look at this. It's the 4th of June and I'm making snowballs. Literally. That's a good thing though when you're brook trout fishing. Stick around, I'll tell you why.
Offshore Tackle presents Fishing 411 with Mark Romanak.
Gobbled up there. Look at that, he's in the bag.
Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, the leader in trolling technology. Okuma, high performance. Vicious Fishing. Northwest Ontario Tourism, there's no place like this. Jay's Sporting Goods, get in gear. And by Yakima, home of the Rooster Tail.
My guest on the Lake Nipigon brook trout trip was a trout fishing legend, Mr. Buzz Ramsey from Yakima Bait. That guy really is knowledgeable when it comes to catching trout and salmon, but he'd never had an opportunity to target big brook trout. So it felt kind of good for me to be able to put Buzz on some pretty good trout. And I learned a ton about trout fishing by sharing a few hours in the boat with him. Buzz, I know you've never fished Lake Nipigon, but this is world-class brook trout water.
Yeah, that's what's got me excited.
And the fish are big. There's not lots of them, but the ones that you catch are huge. And even better, they love spinners.
Yeah, we're going to use spinners, right? Casting?
Absolutely. This is going to be pounding the shorelines with spinners all day long. Your arms are going to feel like jello at the end of the day, I guarantee it.
Yeah, big fish.
Big fish and lots of casts. Lots and lots of casts, and so you earn them. But boy, they do eat the spinners, and this is the perfect place for them.
Super.
Oop, there's fish. There's fish right there. Oh, it's a pike.
Pike.
Yeah. We'll let him go. We don't
Follow
want
this.
He'll eat my rooster tail. No, thank you. I want to keep this one.
He'll cut your leader, right?
No, those fish will bite you off so fast. You know, I could have caught that pike, but honestly, I didn't want to have to go through the trouble of catching him, unhooking him, and potentially having him bite off my rooster tail. So, because I've just got I'm throwing 8-pound monofilament here, and I've got a little 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader.
There's a fish.
There's fish. I bet he's your pike.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not. Let's see.
I don't think he's a pike, but I could be wrong. He just kind of bogged it down. He didn't.
You know, this
like
cold water,
strike.
that's about what you're going to get. Let's take a peek. I haven't seen him yet.
He's fighting. Yeah.
That's a trout.
I think so.
Yeah, here I am thinking, you cast it right where I just saw that pike. Here I'm thinking it's for sure you're going to get yourself a pike, and you got yourself a dandy little brook trout here.
Yeah.
Most excellent.
Fighter.
Oh, he's not quite ready yet, is he?
No. Well, he saw you.
He ought to be afraid of me. Looks like a nice little man.
Okay, here it comes.
Here he comes, and he's in the bucket.
Yay. Oh, great.
Buzz, you have got a good start there, my friend. Look at that.
Hook fell out right
Oh,
there.
that's so perfect. That's exactly what we want. That is exactly what we want.
Oh, look at those spots on there, so pretty. Yeah.
Now, that's bigger than any brook trout you've caught, right?
Yeah, by an inch or two. I've caught a few, but that's a beauty.
But that's a very small one for here.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. That's a very small trout for here. In fact, to be honest with you, in the last 40 years, that's the smallest one we've ever caught.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew you were going to tell me that.
Back he goes.
There he goes.
And that's exactly what we have to do here. This is a total catch and release fishery. The reason why the brook trout fishing is so good here is because they protect it carefully. You can't keep one unless they're 22 inches. You can only keep one, okay?
Right.
It's barbless hooks. And there's a really short fishing season. It closes in the fall when they're spawning, and they take very close care of this fishery, and that's why we have such a good brook trout fishery.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, you're going to do much better than that. You're going to catch much bigger ones than that.
Even bigger, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to catch much bigger. But a lot of people have never caught a brook trout even that big.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, in the streams and, you know, in the beaver ponds that people like to fish brook trout in, you know, a 10-inch brook trout is considered to be a good quality brook trout.
Yeah.
A 10-inch brook trout in here is bait.
Right. Yeah, well, that's I told a few friends before we got together on this, that they said, gee, Nipigon, I mean, that is like the thing for brook trout. I mean, they got all excited. They said, oh yeah, we want to hear about how you do it.
And it truly is. And I get giddy. And the fact that we have flat water and a fish, you know, in the first 10 minutes, that tells me that we're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and June is the month here.
June is the month. You know, you can catch them as early as May, but the entire month of June, you can't go wrong here.
Yeah.
You're going to have good fishing if you're here in the month of June. So
Great.
And today, I believe, is the 5th. So all right.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
good. Well, congratulations on your first one, and let's see about getting a big one for you.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love those spots on them.
Additional considerations provided by Evinrude Outboards and Starcraft Marine. Additional considerations provided by Ontario's Algoma Country.
Let's flesh this out a little bit so folks at home understand what we're doing. We're casting inline spinners. Specifically, we're throwing rooster tails, and in this instance, there's 4 different rooster tails to pick from. We're throwing the Vibrick spinner right now, but the Sonic would work just as good. The original rooster tail works really well. And the rooster tail light would work too, but we're throwing bigger spinners so we can throw them much further. We're using long rods, steelhead style rods, so we can throw them much further and cover more water. And that's really what it's about, is covering a lot of water. The next thing that we're looking at here is trying to find isolated spots where the fish want to concentrate. And it tends to be points, places where there's lots of boulders, lots of structures. The thing you have to understand about brook trout, they are ambush feeders. They lay in the shadows, they wait for something to come by, they dart out and they grab it. So the more big boulders you can find, the more points jutting out into the lake, those are the key spots that you're going to concentrate on. And then the final piece of the puzzle, water temperature. We're looking for warmer water, and that's why we're on the shoreline here, is because this is the warmest water in the lake right now. So all the brook trout have pushed into this warm water. It's where the plankton's at, it's where the minnows are at, and it's where the brook trout are at. And guess what? It's where you need to be at if you're going to catch Nipigon brook trout.
There he is.
There, what did I tell you? The one thing about trout is they're predictable.
It's kind of
They are predictable.
Slow take. I mean,
Yep, and it's the way it's going to be until a little bit later today when the water warms up. And then what you'll notice is it'll go from that subtle take to they're going to swallow it right down.
Oh, really?
And
yeah, just a, it's not a savage strike.
no, not at all. But I'm telling you, that will change. They will get more aggressive as the day progresses.
This one might be a little bigger.
That's a bigger trout. See, you just upgraded considerably, my friend.
This is the biggest I've ever caught.
There you
for
go. So, yep, that's what we're looking for right there. And that looks like a nice nail.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna walk him right over here.
That's what we're looking for right there. Oh, wow. My friend.
Yeah, baby.
That's what it's all about right there. Now
Yeah.
that's Brook Trout Wonderland. He's got some marks on him. I think
Yeah.
that one's probably had a tangle with a lake trout or maybe a northern pike or two. See all the cuts in him?
Yeah, something tried to grab him.
Yeah.
Eat him.
Yep, that's the thing. Look at that light on that
Yeah.
fish.
Look at the fins. Beautiful.
Rooster tail.
Yay!
Isn't that sweet?
I love casting spinners. It's so much fun. It's clean, just tie it on the end of your line and throw it out there.
And it's easy. And this is the kind of fishing anybody can duplicate. I mean, you don't have to be a world-class fisherman to do this because the spinner's doing all the work for you.
Right.
They really do work well.
Yeah. You got a pair up.
I got a pair of pliers, indeed. Let me unhook him for you.
Back to mama.
Look at that.
Wow. Great, Mark.
Now
Thank
that's what they call calling your shot.
you. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
I missed that
You
fish.
bumped yours and I got him.
and I just knew that he would bite because that's the way they are. They're super aggressive, and they own this shoreline. I mean, if anything comes through here, they're going to eat it. And when I missed that fish, I just knew that there was probably better than a 50-50 chance that if you cast it in there,
You had it pegged. You said, hey, just cast back at a different angle and you will get him.
The next thing we need to talk about when you talk about brook trout is timing. This particular shoot was the first few days of June, and that's really just about perfect timing. Late May and throughout most of the month of June on Lake Nipigon, you can be pretty assured you're going to have good brook trout success. The reason we try to get these trips in early in the year is because the main lake of Nipigon is very cold right after ice out, and that forces all the brook trout into the shallower, warmer water. It makes them easier to find. Once the lake warms up, the brook trout tend to scatter throughout the lake and they're a little harder to find. So early in the spring, yeah, they're pretty predictable. They're going to be along the shorelines. They're going to be in the warmest available water. Oh, he's not quite ready yet, is he?
Whoops.
Oh, just about the time he saw that net, that was, he had other plans. There we go. Very nice. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Got him, Mark. The spinner fell right out.
Oh, that's perfect. That's the reason why we use these pinch down barbs. What a beautiful fish. I just love these things. You know, this is my 4th trip up here, Buzz, and I'm coming back. You know, it's just one of those deals that, you know, usually we don't go back to the same places too much, you know, once or twice and then we move on. And this one's in my blood. I'm thinking this is going to be an annual deal. Absolutely.
I can see why you want to. I want to.
Well, you got a standing invitation, my friend.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
Catch and release. We'll see you another day, young man. What a beautiful fish.
Fishing 411 is brought to you in part by Precision Trolling Data, the Troller's Bible, now available in an app. Mark Romanek's Fishing 411 is brought to you in part by O.J. Herman Company.
That's the thing. Look at that light on that fish.
The fin's beautiful.
Rooster Tail.
Yay!
Isn't that sweet? What a beautiful fish. Well, you know, both Buzz and I are throwing spinners, but they're a little bit different. I'm throwing a spinner here that's called the Vibrick, and it's got the blade going right straight through the shaft. And this is one of my favorites. I've had good luck with this one. But Buzz, you've taken a different course of action here, and you're obviously catching a lot of fish here.
Right. Well, I started with the Vibrick Rooster Tail, and what's unique about it is it's got an inline blade, and it's got a keeled weight in it. The body is keeled, and that prevents line twist. You know, especially on a slow retrieve where, you know, you're reeling slow, and that keeling will keep that spinner from twisting and twisting, and thus twisting up your line. So that's really a strong feature a lot of anglers like. You know, if you reel it fast, then it's going to roll a little bit, and you'll get a little bit of twist. Of course, having a swivel in it like you've got to eliminate that. I started with that one, and now I'm using the original Rooster Tail, which is the most popular. And this blade, this semi-wide blade, allows you to prospect for fish, cast, reel pretty fast, you know, and really prospect for fish. But yet, when you slow down and retrieve it, it works too. And so it's a great versatile lure as far as, you know, using it to quickly cover water and find fish, and then slow down and work them and catch them.
Yeah,
it really works. The other thing with both these is that this pulsating hackle tail really does. I mean, the fish love it, and that's a big feature of these lures. These are all hand-tied hackles, and they flared out. They really pulsate and work in the water.
Yep, and sizes. I mean, you can get these from 1/8 ounce all the way up to 1/2 ounce, right?
A 1/2 ounce on that one, and up to 1 ounce on the original Rooster Tail. Yeah,
okay. So,
yeah, and the silver blades are genuine silver, so that's a factor too in low light for those. You know, it reflects a lot more than like nickel.
Most brook trout fishermen would be opting for smaller spinners than we're throwing, but these are big brook trout. So these are actually steelhead sized spinners, you know,
right.
in the way I look at it. But when you're catching big trout, you throw big spinners.
Yeah.
And in fact, I don't know it would hurt us a bit if we were throwing even bigger ones, except for in the shallow water we might be snagging the bottom a little bit.
Right. I noticed that. I'm throwing in them shoreline, and once in a while I'm catching a rock because you know, it's pretty thin water, but I'm using the big ones so I can cast far. Because in this clear water, as you know, as you've mentioned to me, they're a little boat shy. So,
now there's no question they are. They can see us as fast as we can see them. So the further we reach out, the better we are. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, both versions of these spinners are really taking the fish. They're really doing well.
This is hot fishing.
All right, well, let's go get some more.
Yeah.
There's trout right there, Buzz. He's
Yeah.
got it. He's got it.
Yeah, I got it.
I saw that fish eat your spinner.
Did you?
Yeah. I just happened to look down and I see your spinner, and all of a sudden out from the shadows there darted that trout, and he's all over it.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
He's under the boat. He's looking for the shade. That was a surprise to me, I can tell you.
I was gonna say you can set the hook now, but just about the time I was gonna say that, he had. I heard the drag squeak a little bit, and it was obvious you were on him.
Yeah.
So what a beautiful fish. See, we can swing him over this way a little bit more, and I don't know that he's done, is he?
I don't know.
I don't think he's done.
He wants under the boat bad.
He likes the shadows.
Yeah, that's where I like these long rods.
Yeah, you can kind of control that fish. I'm just gonna ease back here a little bit, and let you fight him for a second.
Keep from hitting the chine, you know. That one.
Now we're talking. Well, so much for that idea. So much for that idea.
That's that shade. Surprising because that's shallow there where I hooked him too. Right next to the boat, shallow.
Come on, puppy.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure, but that might be bigger. That might be one of your biggest ones.
Yeah.
I think that is bigger than you've caught before.
The hook fell right out. He's got shoulders, doesn't he?
He sure does. What a beautiful fish.
Wow. See if I can get him out of here.
Spectacular.
That's
He's
a
standing
dandy.
back here with you. Yeah. Got a pretty good smile going there. I'm thinking you're having a good time.
This is hot fishing. I mean, really.
That is stellar. That is absolutely stellar.
Going back in the water here.
Additional considerations provided by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate. Additional considerations provided by Mustang Survival. We save lives for a living, and Bait Rigs tackle.
Looks like a nice fish. Oh yeah. Here she comes.
Oh yeah.
Look at that sweet brook trout.
Oh man, they're beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Look at her go. The colors are just so incredible. Oh my word.
Doesn't want to come up.
I think we got her here, big guy.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'll take it. I'll take it. That's a
Yeah.
nice brookie.
That's dandy.
That is a really nice brookie. Let me pop the hook out of her right now. That's a beautiful fish. All right, back you go, Sweet Pea. Whoa, this boat's deep. Look at that. Perfect.
She's happy now.
She's happy now. You got that right. Well, if you're wondering why Lake Nipigon grows brook trout so big, the answer is in my hands right here. A few years back, the rainbow smelt was introduced here. It's a very rich forage base. They've done extremely well here. The brook trout thrive on feeding on them, and that's why they get so much bigger here. Brook trout in other parts of the world feed on insects primarily. It's not the kind of diet that grows them with big fat shoulders. When they start feeding on minnows like this, they get big, and they get big quick. That's the key to getting big fish here at Lake Nipigon, rainbow smelt. This lake was froze over 7 days prior to us arriving. So we're here 1 week after the ice going out, which is amazing. And you know, we talked about that you can catch these fish all through the month of June, but I like to get here early right at ice out. And there's a reason for that. When the ice first comes off the lake, the main lake is super cold, 36, 37, 38 degrees. But up here where we're fishing, it's low to mid 40s. And that little ribbon of warm water along the bank does concentrate these brook trout up along the shore. So if you want larger concentrations of brook trout, it's good to be here near ice out. As the water warms, the brookies just move off the shore a little bit. You can still catch them all through the month of June, but you have to catch them in a little deeper water. So I like this ice out thing. If you can plan your trip to be here close to when the ice goes out, you're almost guaranteed to be on brook trout. You know what, that's a beautiful brook trout, but believe it or not, they get bigger here. How big do they get? Actually, the world record came from here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it did. And if you're looking at the realistic chance of a 5-pound brook trout, I think this is the best place that I fished and chasing these things for 20 years. This is the best place to your chances of getting a 5-pounder. We've heard of 6 and 7 pounders being caught here with some frequency in recent years. So,
Yeah.
But who wouldn't be proud of that? Most people would put that on the wall.
That's a trophy right there.
That is a trophy, but there's so many of these in this system. This one's going back. I know we can do better. I know we can do better.
Yeah. This is something that is that really works for trout, and it's old news to walleye anglers, but tipping your lures, your spinners, your plugs for trout, steelhead, and salmon is something that I've been doing a lot of, and it really makes a big difference. For example, with spinners, all of us, anyone who's cast a spinner knows that they cast out, and the whole deal is that the fish comes along and he's falling with his nose that far away and not striking. And you get him up near the boat, he follows it to the boat, he turns away. Tipping your lure can make all the difference. He's attracted to the vibration of the spinner and the color of the spinner. Tipping it with a little bit of prepared bait, like gulp, power bait, those types of things, even a reel bait, can really work. And just pierce it on there, let it hang straight back, just like so. So you've got the vibration of the spinner, the pulsating hackle, and that scent stream coming off it. Fish love it. And we've been doing it here quite a bit, Mark and I, and thought we'd share it with you.
That's a good looking fish right there.
Yeah.
That clear water. Look at that picture. I wish everybody at home could see what that brook trout looks like to me. Gin clear water, gorgeous fish, absolutely gorgeous fish. Bright sunny weather. It's as nice gets. You see that rooster tail right in the corner of his mouth. What a stellar fish.
I got the catch and release net.
You got the catch and release net? He's about ready for that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we almost had a catch and release on him.
Yeah.
One more time, I'll bring him around. Try and keep his head up there for you. There you go.
There you go.
Nice job. Thank you, Buzz. Hey, my name's Mark Romanek, and you've been watching Fishing 411. Hope you learned a thing or two about brook trout fishing, and also like to thank Buzz Ramsey for helping us out. What an awesome experience, Buzz. Coming back next year?
I want to come.
It's a date, buddy. It's a date. Whoa, let's get her back in the water before she decides to jump overboard.
Closed captioning is provided by Cisco Fishing Systems. Innovation makes us #1. Quality keeps us there. Fishing 411 has been brought to you by Offshore Tackle, Okuma, Vicious Fishing, Northwest Ontario Tourism, Yakima Bait, and Jay's Sporting Goods.
There, oh, he missed it. He went after it. He jigged it. I jigged after him. He went after it. Let's see if I can get him to go here. There he is. Look at that.
Oh man.
How often do you get
See
to
him
jig up
take
a lake
that?
trout, or rather a brook trout you can see?